Hello, here's Rolf from Tesla Owners US, and after visiting with the Model 3 the first Hanseatic city Bremen and later Hamburg as the second one, we are now driving to the most northern state in Germany called Schleswig-Holstein, to the third Western Hanseatic city, Lubeck. Enjoy our video and stay with us. I pressed to say. Hello, this is Rolf again, and we arrived at the oldest Zollhaus. It's a bed and breakfast and is the second oldest custom house translated in Germany. It's been completely restored to the old vision, how it was before, almost how it was before. And I tried to convince the owner to install electric car charging station. As this time we just only have 230 volt, but we convinced him to install at all his properties also 240 volt with 30 amp two-phase or three-phase charging capabilities. And I also recommended for him that he could come into the Tesla directory. Here is the better view of the house. It is stone and oak beams. So enjoy the view. And we stayed there in the oldest Zollhaus direct at the University Clinicum and charged the car what we got loaned from Dennis Wittus. And we say another time thank you for that car. Now there was another reason why we came here, which was Ove's birthday, and it was being celebrated in the house Mückenbusch, you see behind. Yeah, it's the great day for Ove, my friend, and he has his 50th birthday. And we enjoying a party here. He rented that hotel with the band also, and disc jockey. We had really a great time here. We enjoyed the Hawaiian or tiki style party. That's why we have those tiki style Hawaiian shirts on as well. Everybody had to be in Hawaiian shirts at that party. Then we reflected also where we met the first time, which was at the Rhythm Room in Phoenix, where actually the band, what he invited, the Booze Bombs, this is the same band who was playing my jingle every time, played. And I came there with my Model S between all of those old gas guzzlers from the 50s, and he was wondering who that guy is, because at that time he was already interested in a Tesla, because he drove before Fisker Karma and now wanted to switch over to all electric. So we had a good time. Then he also asked me when will I pick up my Model Y, and we hope that the Model Y will be ready for pickup in the United States next year, probably at the end of next year. We are also looking forward to have the next event in the US after the birthday party. About a week later, Ove is coming to the US and is doing a tour on Route 66 from Chicago to Arizona, and we are looking forward to meet him there the next time. Basically, this is the band what brought us both together. So the music brought us together, Ove and me, and he tells the story where he met the Booze Bombs for the first time at the Rockabilly Reunion in Lake Havasu. There's a big concert there every year next to where they're also sometimes playing at the Viva Las Vegas event. And he tells the story that these guys are playing and rocking the house, and everybody was dancing and celebrating. And then all of a sudden they are speaking southern German accent called Schwäbisch. And then he took all his heart in his hand and talked to the group and got in contact with them. And from that day on, we're not missing any concert when they are in Arizona. The group is in January, February touring the southwest of the United States and usually spending their own vacation of touring the United States during a warmer time of the year. When it's winter in Germany, it is a good, nice temperature in the southwest of the United States, and that's where they're touring. So we asked them now to play here, Stefan as sponsored artist from Gretsch, to play the music.
Alles klar. So, ihr habt schon alles gemacht, was ihr hören wolltet. Ich lebe auch da oben. Alles Gute zum Geburtstag. Und wir legen jetzt los. Seid ihr bereit? Also ihr dürft ganz tanzen, das ist die Tanzfläche. Wir fangen an mit Hey Rick Baby. Und danach kommt noch ein Gast dazu.
Here we go. 1, 2, 1.
So I'm going. Maybe it's more. It's not sweet, it's all for the good. Got me.
You even on about far now. I know. Well, it's the best and right to keep my love for you still in the night.
She likes a flip, she likes a flop. She's a queen and always a top. She likes a nut, just a show. She's a queen.
And here comes the next morning in Lubeck. We're checking how many inhabitants the Lubeck has. It's 217,000 after the last count. And one of the biggest signs for Lubeck is the Holsten Tor, the Holsten Gate. There are 4 or 5 gates around Lubeck, and Lubeck is top. So, and we were visiting with the Model 3 from Dennis, the city. And the city is actually a little island, at least in the mid-age. There's a moat around that island which are protecting this island. It's a Hanseatic city as well, a merchant city. And there are some special things in that city, what you might see. One of the special things is that there was not much regulations when building houses. But the only regulation is if you build the distance between the houses, at least a coffin need to fit through that they could carry the dead people out of their houses when they are dying. So it is a very mid-age city, and here you see the channel or the moat all around the city on the left side, and the newer houses more outside the city. Sure, the city is also extended in the vicinity outside of the city. And we driving during that time on the island, and there are lots of things on the mid-age to see in that old city. The old city was never conquered from anyone except from Napoleon was in front of the gates, and before storming that city, the city gave up and handed over the city to Napoleon when his troops were there, and gave him room and food to carry those troops there. And we had to stop at that traffic light because overset it's red, but there were more interesting things to see when someone is walking over the traffic light, actually the pedestrians. Then we continued on the parking lot, and there is quite few charging possibilities on public parking lots there in Germany. At that parking lot there is a restaurant which is in a houseboat directly at the seaside, and the restaurant called Seaside. It's an Italian restaurant, pretty big, and we enjoyed there a nice dinner at that day. Now here Arnie explains one of those aisleways. As you see, it is pretty tight, and a lot of tourists are going through that city, and sure, they want to walk through those aisleways, but there are really people living there, and they are sometimes a little bit annoyed about all of the tourists which are going through there. So when you see there, it's really old houses are being built there, the same structure of stones and oak beams, as you can see. It's really an amazing city, and everything is very compressed because it was built on an island, and there's only a certain amount of room on that island. Actually, the city also had, just to scare any opponents who want to conquer that city, an own foundry and a factory for powder production, actually shooting powder production. Sometimes those aisleways, Durchgang here, they are also limited in height, or they are completely blocked with a door or a gate. So as you can see, also in the Middle Age, the people were not that tall, and there was actually a ceiling level where Arnie had even to. So then I changed the angle in wide angle so you can see it better when we are stepping through. As you can also see there, when you go through, the houses had always a certain build. There was a floor level, a first level, and a roof level. So that was always the same structure. And the roofs, because of the high wind, were pretty steep. So there were no flatter roofs, they were pretty steep so that the wind can pass better. There are nice flowers, and the people who are living there, they really love their area, and sometimes they get a little bit annoyed about the people staying there or visiting there. Here is our Model 3 parked, where Ove was waiting, and we stepping in and keep continuing our trip. So Lubeck, as you see, is a northern city distinguished by the brick Gothic architecture. And it was destroyed partially in the Second World War with a bomb raid, but it was being especially also rebuilt. The city was actually a hospital city, but the guys who bombed the city did not care. So this is the Marian Church. It was also rebuilt according after the Second World War. This is a 13th and 14th century landmark, and that widely influenced Northern European church design. Lubeck belonged to in the medieval to the capital of the Hanseatic League. It was a powerful trading federation. The symbol of that one is what you saw at the beginning, is the Holsten Tor or Holsten Gate. It's the red bricked city gate that defended the river-bounded, or like a moat, Altstadt or Old Town. As you can see here, that is the house of the city council, and we are stepping through the city council, through the streets here and through the aisleways. All is in a typical character of red bricked houses. So we are going to the inner yard of the Marine Church, which is one of the biggest church ever being built, and it's a merchant church. So most of the merchants went to this church, where the regular carpenters or craftsmen had a separate church. This church was actually even separated for a citizen in the Middle Age. There was a dome there as well. There was a marine church, and there were many churches in regards to the population, quite a few churches there. And there was also an artist who constructed a little bronze statue, and that's the little devil. And there goes the story with the little devil. So if you are rubbing the horn of the devil, best is both horns, then all your wishes would become true. And there is, just next to it is in English and in German language, the story of that little devil of the Marine Church, the devil's figure on the devil's stone. So what that story was is that the devil thought when this church was built a wine bar, because many souls found their way to the devil through the wine bar. So at the beginning, when the base stones were set, he helped all of the workers with the wine bar. And later he found out that it's becoming a church, so he was very angry and tried to smash in the walls. But some of the workers told him, don't smash in the erected walls, so we will build you a wine bar next to the town hall. And actually this is the town hall here, and there should be somewhere here also a wine bar. And at that time, the last boulder what the devil took was placed next to the church, and the cross are supposedly still there. And that's why that artist there built that bronze statue with the little devil. And also here in that capital of the Hanseatic League, with this big gate, they had all of the Hanseatic trading cities there. And the story is that Bremen holds the key and Lubeck has the gate for it. You see all of the Gothic styles here. And next to it, we are coming to the very famous marzipan. It's actually a paste from almonds and a little alcohol and sugar in it. And with this, you can make or form everything. Actually, you can form a little pig or sausages or fruits and vegetables. And this company called Niederegger, they are making artworks of this. In this case, it's the Brandenburger Tor or Brandenburger Gate, which is my city in Berlin. And they have all different kinds of artwork. Here is the Tower of Pisa, then the London Tower, as well as here is the mausoleum of Ataturk in Turkey, and all what you can see there and everything what you can make out of. That is the former Holsten Gate from Lubeck, I think in the old format. And all what you can see there is everything is in sweet marzipan. And here is the Eiffel Tower. And this one was actually the founder of that Lubeck famous marzipan, Mr. Niederegger. So as you can see here, every building, every special thing was built out of marzipan. we are driving the most favorite street from Over, because there is where he likes to stay and has his man's evening on Thursday. And this city is more built for bicycles, as you see, as for cars. But some point in the city, you will also see, even when it's small, you will also see nice restaurants here on the right side or left side, especially in summer. It is nice to sit there and have a drink in the evening. So this is the favorite street from Over, what he always recommends when people arriving in his town of Lubeck. After the day of the party, we were not so much in walking. So we decided more to drive through the city. This was anyway economical driving or sustainable driving with electric. And we heard some nice story about how to get to the dome through the Paradise Street, or also the Devil's Street, or the Devil's Fire Street. And then Over also showed us his favorite charger, which is a little bit up the road. He even put a sticker on it, because most of the time it's getting iced from people who are ignoring that there's a charging station there. I hope you enjoyed the city of Lubeck and their old architectural brick stone buildings. We enjoyed it very much, and we say thank you to Arnie and Over to show us their city of Lubeck. And you decide which is the nicest one. Here's another gate to Old Town Lubeck. One of the famous politicians, he was actually Chancellor. It was Willy Brandt. He is coming from out of Lubeck. He was Chancellor between 1969 and 70 something, and he was from the Social Democratic Party of Germany. There is always nice things to see, especially when you come to this main station and you see a whole bunch of bicycles there, people leaving from the main station with their bicycles. The one other things what you might have already saw on Zach and Jesse is that you can use sustainable boat driving. Actually, here are electric boats which you can rent for about an hour, and you can go around the river with that boat, all around the city, all around the Old Town city with that boat. So they are being charged on that camping outlet here. This is also an outlet what you get in your Model 3, and every one of them, and you see that here they were pretty busy. Usually there are all, although there are boats, and let's have a little look in one of those boats. And they are really easily being done. You cannot take a bath there or go and stop somewhere, but they have a regular steering wheel. They have their battery bank, In the back they have a table and a whole bunch of seats there. And if you are 10 or 12 people, you can rent that boat, I think, for 60 euro an hour and drive sustainable with electricity around the rivers of Old Town Lubeck. Here you can see you get full instructions before you start with the boat and ride with the boat on their Old Town rivers.
I pressed and say, I went and said.